Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Today we are going to take a moment and set up my work planner. So my work planner / catch-all planner, I use a Franken planning system. It's one of the only planners where I really use a Franken planning system, but it has really helped me in Q1, and so I am now doing the setup for Q2. So let's dive right in. What I have here are planner inserts that I printed for my work planners. This is from my small business planning insert. And then I have the basic structure that I use for my work planner, which again is a combination of my catch-all and my small business planner. And so I chose to use the Work Plus Life as the foundation for that planner, and so that's what this is. In this planner, I maintain an annual section. I add annual sections to all of my planners, if you haven't figured that out by now. And that's where I put special pages that I make and things like that. Some of my goals that I need to set. I do have some inserts to update in the quarterly section, and then in the monthly section is where I put my weekly inserts. So let's talk about the tools I'm going to use today. I have my printable planner inserts. I also have my planner of inserts that I use for my Franken planning system, and it's kind of all over the place. As I'm holding this, I realized it probably would have made more sense just to keep the inserts in the original planner and then move them to this planner, but I couldn't do that because I'm actually using the covers for something else. So for both of these planners, I'm using the covers for something else. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes as months go by. But for now, I have all of my extra inserts in this one planner. They're not even on the discs. I'm just kind of using this to keep it together. And I'm okay with it. I love this cover. I'm okay with it. And then I also have a planner where I put my old inserts for the prior quarter or the prior months. So we're going to be using all of that today. I think the first place to start is to go ahead and take out my old inserts, which for me is the month of March. So I'm going to go and take out March because I've already taken out January and February. The reason I've already taken out January and February is that I have done so much work on adjusting this planner. Like, I've adjusted this planner probably the most in 2025. I've been through maybe 3 different planners. So trust me when I tell you, this is tried and true, trial and error. So what I'm doing here is some of my pages that I use for reference or for tracking, I keep those in the back of my planner, so they're not technically a part of the month. So I don't need to pull those out. Okay, I think this is all for the month of March. So like I said, I had already taken out my January and February. You can see, like, this is a totally different planner that I was using in January. And then in February, I had a different system. I was using the Catchall plan, but I wasn't using Work Life. So I was just going back and forth until I settled on what I use now, which I'm so pleased with. So I'm going to go ahead and put March in here. Let me move this planner out the way. And like I said, this is my storage planner. So that just means as I take out the months that I use for the prior quarter, I need a place to put them. So I put them in my overflow. Now this page I'm going to go ahead and take out because I will reuse that page. That is my word of the year, and I like to keep that in my planner. I move it from month to month. So I keep it in the most recent month. That's why it was in March. Okay, so this is my overflow planner. It is now done. I have added the month of March. It has actually January, February, and March in here. So it definitely has the first quarter. Now let's talk about this second quarter. Right now what you see, this section, this is the annual section, and this is kind of like the back section where I have blank notes pages. I have some weekly pages, some daily pages, and then I have a few pages that I probably need to sort through, but I use them for reference. But this for now is going to stay in the back. So the next thing that I need to do is go ahead and put in my new months for the quarter. So that's where my insert planner comes in. So as I told you, I use a Franken planning system. So for my months, I use the Work Plus Life month for my catch-all. So I need that insert for April, May, and June. And I'm just grabbing it out of my Work Plus Life inserts. So you see this goes through the entire year, right? I also use Hell of a Plan inserts right here for my content planning. And this is a vertical. We're going to flip through what these look like. But I need April, May, and June for that. And that's all I need out of here. So I can set this to the side. So when I set up this planner, guys, my Work Plus Life is my catch-all. And the Work Plus Life is dated, and it is an hourly layout for the week. And I love this for my catch-all. It has been working so well for me. I also love the fact that it has a monthly dashboard. That's an essential for me in my planner. So I have that as the first tab for the month. Now in that same month, I would put in my Hell of a Plan April section from Hell of a Plan, which is a vertical. It is dated as well. I don't tend to decorate this particular monthly layout, but I do decorate the weeks. And the vertical is what I use for my content planning. The first row, I use it for what I need to film and edit. The second row is what I need to post. And the third row is what I need for social media. And it's just a vertical. So that is how I set up each month. So I come in here and I'm going to put my May Work Plus Life. And then my May Hell of a Plan. And then my June Work Plus Life, and my June Hell of a Plan. And that sets up the basics of each month. Now I do still have some inserts that I need to add, and these are my business inserts that are sitting over here, because that is from my small business planner, and I use those every month. It keeps me on track with my pre-planning. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just popping in my monthly inserts from Work Plus Life and Hell of a Plan. Okay, almost through. We're in April. And then my April Work Plus Life. Okay, so now in the planner, what you will see, and this is what I call my work planner, combination of catch-all and content planning. Each month has 2 tabs. So April, catch-all, Work Plus Life, hourly. That's how I do my catch-all. Which I call this catch-all because I don't have a better word for it, but it's really, I guess it is a catch-all, but it's really about time blocking my day, and I don't think most catch-alls do that. But this is where I put all of my activities. So in essence, it is a catch-all. But I do use time blocking to block off my work day, so that I know what I'm working on during certain parts of the day. So and then the second part of April is the Hell of a Plan. Notice as an April tab is the Hell of a Plan vertical. And this is what I use my content planning for. that's how this works. And I have it for April, May, and June set up the same way. Now, what do I do with the inserts that I print? I have some that are kind of quarterly. I'm going to take these out for now because they go in the annual section. We will put them in there, but not right now. I print these from my small business planner. All of the inserts that I make are linked down below if you're interested. But I plan my content. It says month ahead, and I really do plan a month ahead. At the beginning of the month, I sit down and I plan everything I'm going to film, every blog post I'm going to make. I plan that out. Now, it changes during the month and from week to week, and that's okay because you're planning so that you can adjust if you need to. But I do plan. So I need planning pages for that. And what they look like is I have a monthly overview, and then I use a quad. And in this quad, what I do is for each week, I have to film and to edit. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then on the back, if I need a 5th week, I'll have a 5th week, and then I use the bottom section here for social media. And then I also have a monthly video planning sheet that I use. It's like a worksheet where I put the week number here, and then I write what I intend to post each posting day during the week. So that's what that says. And then I have a section each month where I brainstorm any products, any marketing strategy or activities that I want to do. And then it just repeats from month to month. So that is what my small business inserts look like. And then I have some action plan sheets that I just stick in the back. I use these as needed. So let's go ahead and get these set up. So I have it flipped to April, because remember, my Catchall plan is my small business content planner. And so at the back of that planner is where I put in these planning sheets. And I'm going to do that for every month. So in May, I'm going to take my May planning sheets, and I'm going to sit these in the back. And I'm going to do the same thing in June. So in June, I'm going to take my June planning sheets and put them right here. And then I have some of these action plan sheets that I just put in my notes section. I use these as I need them. And I just always try to make sure that that area is stocked up for the quarter, because I do use them throughout the quarter. Now, for the quarterly and annual sheets that I printed off, I just want to go into my annual section and make sure that I have enough pages. So for example, my quarterly video planning, notice I have this filled out for the first quarter. So I need to fill it out for the second quarter. Right, and I already had something here, but the reason I need two is that my main small business, my primary small business that I'm working toward really developing is a genealogy business. It's a family history research business, and I make products for that business. I do content for that business. I haven't been great at doing content, but I do make products. I have workbooks and all type of things for that particular business. That is the main business that I'm trying to promote. When I talk about business expenses, that's the business I'm talking about. So that needs its own page. And then I also do stuff for Planning by Eva. So that kind of needs its planning page as well. This one is not really revenue generating, but I still need to plan for it. So I put in that new quarterly page. I have a new content strategy page because I do have a content strategy change for quarter 2. So I need to get that updated. I already have my quarterly marketing plan in here, primarily because I didn't do anything with the first quarter. I didn't do much marketing, and I should have. And then I keep some action plan sheets in my annual, because some of this stuff requires an actual project plan or an actual detailed plan of what I need to do, and so it's handy to have action plan sheets there. I want to go back to my video planning because I need to also keep track of my quarterly topics. So because I am doing genealogy research, there are specific topics that I talk about throughout the year. Things like 1920 census, 1930 census, 1910 census, marriage records, probate records. And so keeping track of which topics I do a blog post on or a video on is really important. And so I usually take some time and I sit down and I write down all my topics for the quarter that I might do, and then I keep track of when I actually post them. If I flip back to my section in the back, you'll see that for quarter one, I did the same thing, and I wasn't too successful in getting most of these done. So a lot of these are going to roll over to quarter two. But this belongs in the front of my planner. So after this video, actually, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and take this out because it does belong in the front of my planner, not the back. And then I don't use this video tracker page anymore. I don't use my Patreon planning right now, but I will leave this in here, but I do think I have some in the front. So I'm going to take the video tracker. I replaced that sheet with something else. And I am going to do back in the front with my topic trackers. Right here, I have some notes on topic ideas. And then Patreon planning, I had a little bit of a section on Patreon. So I'm gonna stick this in the back. Right now, I'm not active on Patreon. There may come a time when I will be, but for now I am not. So I'm gonna keep these in here just in case I want to reactivate my Patreon, and if I do, I can plan that here. Same with some of my product research and development. I usually keep this in my full-fledged business planner, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move this over to the side. I'm going to take this out of my catch-all. So this is the quarter two setup for me. What I want to take a minute and point out to you is that this is a Franken planning system, and I have built this system over the past 3 months through trial and error, through ups and downs, through struggles. It works for me. I encourage you to figure out a system that works for you. For me, I have an annual section that is heavily focused on my small business workbook type activities, because on my 9 to 5, you know, I'm not really creating anything on my 9 to 5. I'm doing the work I'm being asked to do, but I'm trying to build a business. And so in my activities planner, my catch-all, whatever you want to call it, that's the bulk of my activities that I'm doing. That's why this looks like this. I do have some personal things in here because it is my catch-all. So I do put my spring cleaning in there, and my 2025 goals, and my 2025 wardrobe list. It does go in here because it is a catch-all, but it does have a very strong lean toward my small business development. Then in the months, I have work plus life. Use that as my activities catch-all, hourly layout, and then I use the Caliber Plan vertical in the second part of the month for my content planning, and then I have my content worksheets, which are part of my small business inserts, which will be linked down below if you're interested. I will say The small business planner, those inserts, I think it's like over 200 pages. Or at least the first version was. I'm trying to streamline it, but it is a robust planner. I would definitely advise anyone who's interested in using these inserts to treat it like a collection of inserts instead of just a whole planner, because you really do need to pull out what you want to use and what will work for you instead of just printing out 200 pages and saying you're going to use it as is. But that is available. If it is not available, I will have it available by the end of this month, but it should be available by the time this video goes up. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am just going to pop in my word of the year for the month of April. I keep this word of the year in my current month. I usually just put it in the first week and then I move it as I go from month to month. That way I see it every time I get ready to decorate. And I do have a few content notes that I will put for the month of April as well. This way, you know, I've been planning what my content needs to look like for quarter 2. So this way I don't lose track of those notes as I set up the content piece of this. This is just the structure. Okay, this is my quarter 2 work planner, which includes the catch-all and content planning. Thank you so much for watching this video. Good luck with your quarter 2, and I just cannot wait until you guys start sharing your Q2 setups. And I hope you have a happy planning experience for the month of April. Thanks for watching.